faithfully conveying value and exploring great books from around the world. Hi, this is Sally with Book Insights. Today, I'll be interpreting this book for you. It's the most popular negotiation course at Wharton Business School. Negotiation is something we face often in both work and life, from corporate mergers and acquisitions in business to discussing promotions and salary raises with your boss at work, from figuring out how many snacks are okay for kids to asking a waiter to hurry up with your order. Negotiation is everywhere. But achieving success in negotiation isn't so easy. A merger might fall through at the last minute. The boss promised a raise, but it never happens. If you don't give the kids snacks, they throw a fit. The dishes are all gone, but one still isn't served. This book might just help you out. The author, Stuart Diamond, is a world-class negotiation expert. He's consulted for Fortune 500 giants like Google, Microsoft, and JP Morgan Chase, and trained government leaders from over 40 countries. With decades of negotiation experience, Diamond has taught at Wharton Business School for over 20 years. His negotiation course has been the hottest ticket for 13 straight years. This book distills negotiation strategies from Diamond's analysis of over 30,000 cases, combined with research and his teaching insights. Next, I'll cover this book through two key aspects. First, understanding the core of negotiation. Second, mastering negotiation techniques. First, let's dive into understanding the core of negotiation. What is the core of negotiation? It's about identifying your goals and persuading your counterpart. Simply put, it's convincing others to get what you want. But the book's theme is that negotiation aims for gaining more, not getting everything. Before breaking down the key elements, let's define negotiation. Diamond sees negotiation as a process of mutual communication and understanding. In this process, you work to align the other person's thinking with yours, help them grasp your ideas, and feel what you intend. For example, Saleh wants to acquire a food industry company to grow his business. After thorough research, he found a solid but small company that's perfect for acquisition. But the company owner was reluctant to sell because he didn't want to lose his authority. Saleh knew if he missed this opportunity, finding another suitable target would be difficult. He communicated with the owner, addressing his need to maintain autonomy. First, he promised the owner would retain a key position post-acquisition, ensuring career security. Secondly, Saleh described future global expansion plans, guiding the owner's thinking. Finally, Saleh promised extra compensation if plans succeeded, demonstrating sincerity. During negotiations, Saleh helped the owner understand his company couldn't scale due to limited size and resources. Now, Saleh's business empire needed this food sector, so he'd help transform it into a multinational corporation. Ultimately, the owner agreed to the deal. In this case, Saleh empathized with the other party's perspective and made a mutually beneficial decision. It sounds ideal, but isn't easy to implement. Negotiators employ various methods to achieve their goals. But Diamond strongly opposes using power to coerce others, as in Saleh's acquisition approach. Had Saleh leveraged wealth or influence to force the sale, the owner might comply temporarily but could later sabotage cooperation. For instance, poaching key staff or disrupting supply or sales chains to undermine the acquired company. Coercion through authority signals complete opposition between parties. Relationships typically end here. No one willingly sacrifices interests for others' gain or tolerates suppression. Thus, Diamond rejects this winner-takes-all survival of the fittest negotiation approach. He believes good negotiation considers both parties' objectives. Diamond asserts negotiation aims to gain more, not everything. For example, hunters acting alone might only catch a rabbit or sheep, but if 4 hunters cooperate, they might catch a bear or a wild boar. Compared to acting alone, cooperation allows them to gain more transformation. In negotiation, Striving to be the stronger party and setting the goal as gaining more is one of the keys. To achieve this goal, you can make concessions or even lose in this negotiation to gain more in future ones. Or I win and you lose to teach a lesson, making future negotiations smoother, or both sides lose. This way, both sides can empathize with each other's positions, rethink the direction, and aiming for more is result oriented. Result oriented means all actions should serve the outcome. During negotiation, always keep your eyes on your goals. If anger or rage doesn't help achieve the result, you need to control your emotions. Don't dwell on right or wrong. For negotiation success, besides clarifying goals, finding the decision maker is equally crucial, especially their emotions and situation. Diamond's view differs completely from past popular approaches. In past negotiation processes, people initially focused on the issues, what matters to negotiate, and what each side's needs are. Later, people shifted focus to interests. What benefits can I gain to facilitate this negotiation? Diamond believes that neither issues nor interests are key to negotiation success. The key is whether you've addressed the negotiation counterpart. A decision is formed by combining the negotiator's emotions, views, and analysis of the situation. Research shows that in a successful negotiation, human factors account for over 50%. So, how do we fully leverage human initiative? Diamond believes we should do the following three things. First, fully understand the other party's viewpoint. Second, respect the other party. Third, gain the other party's trust. I'll introduce these 3 points in order. First, understand the other party's viewpoint fully. Always remember that their viewpoint is more important than yours in negotiation. Only by fully understanding the other party's viewpoint and clarifying their needs can you adjust and respond in your proposal. Let's look at an example. Douglas is a salesperson at a chemical products company. The company upgraded to a new system where clients just submit weekly orders via computer. The old system required clients to visit retail stores 2 to 3 times weekly to select products. Douglas assumed clients would eagerly adopt this convenient new system. Surprisingly, one client refused outright, even threatening, if forced to use the new system, he'd stop ordering chemicals from the company. Puzzled, Douglas questioned the client repeatedly and uncovered the real reason. Turns out the client was highly social and didn't view store visits as burdensome. He'd befriended the retail staff. His refusal stemmed from fearing staff would lose jobs if clients stopped visiting. He couldn't bear seeing friends unemployed. After understanding this core concern, Douglas explained the system aimed to optimize inventory, not eliminate staff positions. He assured the client could still visit and place orders in person. With fears addressed, the client agreed. This case shows customer needs vary. Assumptions about improvements can backfire. Only by actively listening and understanding perspectives can goals be achieved. Many negotiators fail to recognize gaps between their views and others' perspectives, even dismissing counterparts as stubborn or unreasonable. Such perceptual gaps often cause communication breakdowns. Skilled negotiators bridge these gaps through understanding, not dismissal. Unlike labeling the client as inflexible, Douglas sought to understand his viewpoint. This case highlights a key technique: questioning. As Diamond says, questions hold more power than statements. That's because statements only present your own viewpoint, which may not address the other party's needs, making them passively receive information. This often invites attacks on your position. For example, in our case, the salesman pushed what he thought was a more convenient system, but the client resisted change. Why was the client unwilling? Only through questioning can you accurately uncover the client's true thoughts. Diamond suggests nearly everything in negotiation should be phrased as questions, and how you ask matters greatly. If you bluntly ask, "What do you need? Why are you dissatisfied?" Such aggressive, hostile phrasing backfires. Framing request as appeals for help boosts cooperation. Like, help me out, I'm confused, or inviting critique. Could you tell me, where did I go wrong? Were there mistakes in my explanation? These approaches encourage reviewing and digesting your statements. If they spot errors, it better clarifies their needs. If they can't find flaws, it strengthens your position. Now, the second skill, respecting others, seems obvious but is often neglected in practice. Consider this example. One morning, a coach rushing to train a 16-person group found his reserved parking spot blocked by another car. Parking staff contacted the car owner. The owner described where his keys were, but staff retrieved keys for a different brand. Naturally, the car wouldn't start. Yet, staff insisted they followed instructions and bore no responsibility for the car not starting. What would you do in this situation? Complain? The staff's an idiot. Wrong keys obviously won't start the car. But the coach praised the staff's early assistance, then noted not everyone works as diligently and meticulously as they did. Suggesting the careless owner might have misplaced the keys, he asked staff to double check. The staff listened and agreed to check again, finally finding the correct keys. That's the power of respect. Had he just blamed the staff, they'd have argued, completely derailing the coach's schedule. But respecting the other person and acknowledging their capability led to the perfect resolution. Now, the third point, gaining the other party's trust. The benefits of trust are immense. In trusting environments, transaction speed and value far exceed those in suspicious settings. Suspicion drains resources. Building trust is hard. So how do we do it? First, maintain communication during trust building. Regular updates keep both parties aligned. Second, strictly honor mutual boundaries. Trust takes effort to build, but can be shattered by one broken promise or small oversight. A chemical manufacturer once forced clients to adopt a new product claiming superiority, but clients discovered it was actually an unverified prototype. Furious, a client slashed annual purchases from $500,000 to $100,000. This trust breach had lasting repercussions. The company spent 6 years visiting monthly with updates to finally restore the partnership. Unscrupulous tactics destroy trust. Preserving it makes win-win cooperation sustainable. All right, that concludes part 1, understanding negotiations core. Clarify your negotiation goals. The counterpart is the key to the entire negotiation. Strive to make them feel what you intend, avoiding coercive authority. Negotiation aims to gain more, not everything. Must secure to handle counterparts. First, fully understand their viewpoint and needs. Second, respect them to inspire proactive cooperation. Third, earn their trust. Building trust is hard, losing it easy. Rebuilding lost trust is even harder. We've already understood the key to negotiation. So how do we apply negotiation skills in specific situations to achieve negotiation goals? This is the second aspect I'll introduce, mastering negotiation skills.